Hello all, and welcome to Ali Juno's Crafty Corner. This is floss tube number 2. Um, First off, we'll do a little bit of the whip input that I have, and then once we get done with that, I will talk and stitch with you. So first off, I actually was able to do a little bit of work on each project I have, and I had a new start as well. So first we're going to do my smallest amount of work. I don't even know if you can tell if I did anything, but I put about 100 stitches into it. Had an appointment to go to. I did put some work in Baby Cthulhu. Sorry. I mainly did like right here in the cheek area. And that's all I got done. Then I have been working on this one. I don't know if you remember or not. This particular piece I've gotten almost 1,500 in the last 4 days. I normally range between 300 to 500 stitches a day on this particular piece. So I've made most progress on this one. And then yesterday I had a brand new start. Really can't tell what it is yet. But I've got the sky done. Oop, I am so sorry. Got about 500 stitches put in this so far. Just a second, I will show the picture of what it's going to look like. It's called Two Dragons. There we go. That is what the dragon is going to look like. I'm doing it on 22 count Agar? Harding? Sorry, I will... don't know my fabrics very well. I'm not sure I even said what I was working on my kitten project here. This is 25 count Ghana. Haven't decided exactly where I like stitching at and what fabric I like stitching at, but at the moment I've got 3 different sizes. I've got an 18 count, I've got the 25 count, or 22 count, and the 25 count. And so we will see if I have a preference or if I just keep jumping between. So I'm going to go ahead and start stitching. I'm going to change displays. Make this one smaller. Go. Alright, so now we are going to start stitching. I am leaving the camera on this time while I stitch. Oops, this is not in. Sorry about that. Instead of turning it off like I did last time, I am going to leave it on. And we will see how it goes. So I'm going to talk a little more about my channel and what the meaning behind my channel name and what I hope it will be. I will also discuss, my week as well. I've had a pretty crazy week so far. But my name is actually Maria, but I use the name Ali Juno for my online name. I am always, anytime I make a character online or a username, it's almost always Ali Juno. So that's why I made the channel Ali Juno's Crafty Corner, because that's what I feel like this is. This is my crafty corner. And anybody is welcome to hang out and join me for sure. I got the name Ali Juno from a book my husband wrote. It is self-published. We do currently have it on Amazon. I will post a link below. It is a science fiction fantasy novel. I love the story of it. I love the characters in it. I will say the names are hard to pronounce throughout the book. So if you have an issue with not liking a book because you can't pronounce the names, you may have an issue with this book. But the story itself is great. Oh, I didn't even go into the right hole. I am not up there. Oh. I am trying to jump too far ahead and I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. I can fix this. There we go. That back over there and rethread my needle. Like I said, I will post a link of that in the description below. If you're interested in it, that's great. If not, just ignore it. But that's where Ali Juno comes from, is I use that from that book. And I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself or being redundant with what I'm saying. I have a bad habit of that. I'm sorry for hitting the mic. I've rearranged my settings at my desk a little bit, so I'm trying to get used to where everything is located at. On my channel, I just mainly want to use it to post my projects and the progress I'm making on it. And just, you know, try to make friends and maybe help people understand certain stitches, or have people help me understand when I'm doing something wrong, and just go from there. You know, I'm always interested in learning new ways to do things. It's the way you know, how I went from like doing knots to start the thread. I used to actually knot it like you would do with a sewing project, to the doing it this way now. Let's see. I am married. I have been with my husband for 20 years. Going on 21 years. We've only been married 8 years. No. Sorry. We've only been married for 12 years. I get it confused because we got married in 2008, so. We've got 3 kids. We have a soon-to-be 18-year-old, a 16-year-old, and a 13-year-old. My 17-year-old is love her to death, but she's a teen. Parents are mean, so just normal teen drama. My middle daughter, she's working full-time. Well, not full-time, as full-time as a student can work. And just like super busy with life. My son, a little more complex, you know. He's got ADHD and he's low scale autism, but he's been making great improvement and progress. So have high hopes for him. May see him on a stream a time or two, because he does tend to pop in and see what I'm doing. We have 2 fur babies. Well, technically we have 4. We have 2 kittens, which I've mentioned them in my first video. Aries and Simon. They're about 3 months old now, I think. Then we have two ferrets, which are about 2 years old now. Still as active as ever and as mischievous as a 2-year-old. Got all my fur babies. I've mentioned it last video. I know I'm kind of repeating myself and I apologize. I think I'll just go ahead and stop here because I've basically stated all that stuff in the prior videos. My first video. And I'm sorry, I totally forgot to welcome everybody. New and old. Been here before. Coming in. If you're new, welcome. Let's see. Okay, well, I'm just gonna get off that subject I was on because there's really no sense in repeating what I've already stated 90% of it in the first video. If anybody has any questions to ask, feel free to post it in the comments. I'll answer any questions on the next video. On my cross stitch, like I stated before, I've only been doing this since August of last year. I do remember doing cross stitch when I was a teenager, but like 17, I think, 16, 17. But it was only the Walmart stuff, and I don't remember. I think I've only finished one project ever. It was like a real short dresser slash thing. But but I got started on it again in August, and I have learned so much, so much about cross stitch, and there's still so much more to know. It's crazy. You know? Like I was saying, this is my first attempt at a 25 count, my first Haid full coverage. Yes, I know, I'm crazy. Do my first full coverage to be a Haid. I've been obsessed with it. I stitch on this almost every day. Since January, I've been keeping track of all my stitches. Pattern Keeper helps me keep up with that. Otherwise, I just keep up with the days I stitch. Because I definitely cannot count per stitch. I've seen how people do that. I would get lost, and I could possibly do it if I had one of those clickers that I see a couple people have, where like anytime they do a stitch, they have a button that they can click and keep up with their stitches that way. I would most likely forget I had the device and then remember it after I'd done all my stitches. Alright, so that is all of that. So we're going. Sorry, I'm waiting on what my next color is gonna be. There we go. We're gonna do that color. This one. The way I do my floss, I started out with bobbins. So 90% of all my stash is in bobbins. But I have found out that I prefer to hang my floss. for it to be on these things here. I don't know why. It just, for me, I like it better. That's what I've been doing for the past month now. At my new project, put it on there. Daddies. I plan on getting some actual plastic ones instead of these paper ones. I wanted to do a test try. See if they were the ones if I would like them or not. Alright. And I'm stitching 1/1 on the 25 count. And I do 2 different types of starts. Depending on how many stitches I have to start with, on how I start. So like if I only had like 1 stitch to do here, I would do a loop start. Or if like with this one I have multiples, so I would do, I don't even know what this is called. I just pull it through the normal start, what most people consider it. Some people do pin stitches. I have a hard time pin stitching on Lugana. I haven't pinpointed it out. So, of course, I'm gonna go right through and pull too fast and too hard. Let's try this again. This is where I'm starting, so I'm just gonna go a few holes before. I think it's like a waist knot, a waist thread start. Sorry, I'm bumping the mic. And then go down here. Right over here. Then back up. And sometimes when I do that, I get agitated and then I'll do the loop start. Because I keep pulling it through. So I'll just go ahead and show you my loop start. So you take your thread, you pull it up, you leave a little there, you go back down the hole you just came up. Alright. There we go. And we're gonna hold on, we're gonna do this. Pull this back down because I pulled it out. And we're gonna go up this hole. Because I go from bottom right to top left. That is my stitch. I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna go back through that hole of the loop I made. And then I'm going to go back down there. Pull that through. Ooh, too far. There we go. And then I just proceed to stitch. And we are go. I proceed to the, normally I have a little more thread there, so I would pull it up and stitch it, but with this one I'm just going to pull it underneath. Go. And now I'm going to continue stitching. That is how you do the first loop start. The start loop method, on at least how I do the start loop method. So When I finish a thread, I'll show you what I do there. Most of the time, I do kind of a loop finish ending thread type thing. There, and up. And go to the next area. Don't do that. Crazy kittens. Oh, I've got to go over here. Into the middle of here. And then go down. There we go. I'm hoping to have this page done by the end of the weekend. Because that is the goal. Not saying it'll happen, but that is a goal. Let's see. That. Alright. Mark my stuff. Alright. And now color, which is on this one. Basically, to with these, I just go here, I grab my thread, grab one. For me, it's the grabbing the one that's the fun part. I always seem to grab multiples. There we go. Do that. I just kind of hold everything and then just pull it on up. And then I just proceed to kind of rub, pull the strand taut to try to pull some wrinkles out of it that I've created. Now we're going to thread it. It likes to fight me on threading it sometimes, but who knows? We just fight it anyway. Alrighty. Alright, so now let me see if I can do this other way that I thread. Let's scroll in just a little. Let me know if you would prefer the camera to be closer, further away. Alright, we're going to do this. And we're going to go down again. I know, I'm stitching the other handed now. There we go. And that is that. Now it is going. Now we'll switch back around. I am left-handed, but I tend to do certain things better right-handed. Sometimes it's better to stitch with my right hand underneath and my left on top. Sometimes I stitch with my left hand on top and left hand underneath and right hand on top. Right area. Don't. Yes. Okay. I just lost my train of thought. I have no idea what I was next thought I was going to when I got done talking about the working left or right-handed. Okay, well, let's see if I can find something else to talk about. I know last night in a group Zoom meeting with a bunch of other cross stitchers, the subject of accents came up. I'm really not sure what kind of accent I have. I myself can't pinpoint any kind of accent, but I was born in New Jersey. I was raised most of my life between Arkansas and Texas. So I know, depending on what I'm talking about, on when my southern accent pops up. Other than that, I have no clue. I didn't live, my mom told me we didn't live in New Jersey for very long. Maybe about 6 months after I was born, so I never picked up any kind of New Jersey accent. But, you know, I grew up in Texas from the time that I was 11 till I was 34, I think. I think that's when we moved. No. Yeah. Probably around 33, 30, 34, somewhere around there. So like I said, I don't even know what accent I might have. I know I hate the sound of my voice. But I know a lot of people do. I cringe every time I watch my videos because I think I look horrible and I act weird and my voice is horrible. But it's never going to be up to my standards, so might as well post it anyway. Double check something. Put that one. Okay. Just double checking on my pattern, making sure what I had, what I needed to do. Let's see here. Oh, okay. I will talk a little about my week. My work week is pretty normal. Some days is better than others. I work from home, so I can still get stitching time done when I'm waiting for calls and interactions. So normally on a normal day, I can get 150 to 200 stitches done on my project. And then when I get off work, depending on the day, I try to go to the gym 4 days out of the week. It's a recent thing I've started doing. I just want to tone up, so I've decided to go to the gym, get on the treadmill, all the cardio, go from there. On the days I don't go to the gym, I watch TV with my husband and my kids when they want to watch TV. Most times my daughter is working or at a friend's house, so normally it's just me and my husband watching TV. We've been recently re-watching all the Harry Potter series again. Movies. Sorry. Yeah. We're currently on we just finished the 4th one. Probably Monday we'll start the 5th one. And then about all of that on that. When we don't go anywhere, we've been pretty self-contained. Just go out to get groceries, take my daughter to work, and the gym. Those are basically the only 3 places I go. Yesterday, my husband drove my daughter to work because I was working, and she ended up going to work early yesterday before I got off work. and he noticed that the car was running a little weird. So realized it needed water, so we added water to it. Drove it around yesterday evening to go do all the bank errands and grocery errands that we needed to do. Realized it was out of water again. Because I decided to, kind of chugged a little, like, I don't know, it was weird. And I knew we had just filled the water up, so I couldn't figure out why it had emptied. Because I checked the fluids in it once a month. And it was completely empty. It was out of water again. So I filled it up. But it kept water overnight. Perfectly fine. Took my daughter to work this morning. Started doing the same thing. Actually died while we were stopped at a stop sign. Checked it. It was out of water. Filled it up. Drove to the car lot. About 10 minutes away. It had sucked up over half the water I had just put in it. So, in their quick diagnostic of it, there's no leak in the hoses. They can't find any water leaking out of the hoses. There's no water in the oil, water or coolant in the oil pan, that they can find. So, the lady said it sounds like it might need a new engine. So, not quite sure what I'm gonna do about that. Especially since, luckily it's still under warranty because we only bought it this year in January, and it's a 2019, and it was lower mileage than most, so luckily it's still under warranty, so if it does have to be replaced, it's covered, but still, I did not think to have that kind of issues with a 2019. And the fact that it hit so quickly, because I don't drive the car a lot, but I do take my daughter to work every day, and it's a 5-minute drive there and a 5-minute drive back. I don't see what we could have done to mess up the engine, but who knows what happened to it before we ever got it. So, I don't know. So, I get to get off work for a few minutes, go drop my car off, then get a ride back. Luckily, they provide a shuttle service. And then they will call me back later in the day with the diagnostic of what they have found wrong with the vehicle. And then I'll figure out what we do from there. That's my crazy week. Fairly normal till I hit Friday. And this is Saturday. I totally did not put that at the front of the video, but oh well. It's Saturday the 11th. No, 12th. Did I lose a day? Yes, I lost a day. Today is the 12th. Today is not the 11th. Ignore me. I'm crazy. Alright. That is my crazy day. Crazy week. Not too crazy. But hopefully I get good news on it. Alright. And that is the end of this color. I'm gonna go right next to this guy. That there. Alright, so I still have these in here, but these are already in this line here. So and there's no other colors going down. So I'm just going to feed these down and into it. Okay, so we gotta undo these. I gotta get everything in order. I putting everything back in order. I'm done. That way I ain't gotta worry about it and pulling the wrong stitch or the thread catching. Just one of the ones I have to the side. I do that. These are my waist threads. Like, I did a finished loop, which is basically the same way as a start loop. You just pull your thread out, put it down here. Like, these were finished up here. So I did the loop finish, and then I pulled them down here, and then these stitched over top of these. So now I can just go ahead and cut these off. Make sure I cut these out of the important threads. Alrighty, and now we're gonna take this, move that there. I have these, and I put these up here. This is the one I'm going to be working on first. Put that like that. Alrighty, so let us grab this one. I like working from the bottom threads up, because to me that way I'm not fighting with these threads trying to work with them, you know. So like I flip, instead of trying to like grab this first thread and work around those, I grab the one that's out of the way and easiest to start. The only rare occurrences to that is if one thread is like 90% of the work, then I won't do that. Okay, so there's there, and then there's one. All right. Once we finish this square, then I'm gonna call it. Don't want to do too long of a videos, but I normally stitch 2 squares at a time before I walk away for a few. Okay. This, I might be able to show you a finished thread, because this is not going to go much further. As you can tell, my gridding was off just a little bit, but luckily the count's not off. One thing kind of nice about doing the counted cross stitch like this, the counted, of course, this is counted. There and here. Give me just a second here. Try to make sure I have enough thread for all this. All right. Almost. I'm playing thread chicken here. Am I gonna have enough to do my loop finish? We go up, go back down the hole we just came out of, then you keep your loop, go back up, there. We're gonna go back down the hole. So technically you go down your hole 3 times. You go up it, down it, up the other hole, grab your stuff, back down the hole. And then, like, you can do this one of 2 ways. You can do a pin stitch and cut it and you're done with it. But what I tend to do is take it up here, And just kind of do like a waist thread. And when I fill in the rest of this, then I cut it at the end once the slot is full. All right. Mark these. It's done. Go. Then we're gonna go this one next. Alrighty. So now I'm gonna go a little differently. Normally I would grab this one right here. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. These are the same colors. I parked one right there for some reason. Alright. So we're going to take this one. We're going to move it out of the way because I don't need that one. This one is here. So there's more to this one than there is to that one. So what I'm going to do, pull that off. So the first thing I'm going to do is, since I'm going to grab this one, and I'm going to start with this one going down. So we're going to go ahead and go here. And then I have more of these down here. I'm going to jump down to this one. As you can tell, this is a really short strand, so I'm just going to use this one to do my thread jumping. There. And then here, I have these three right here that needed to be done. And that will finish off that square. Do this. There we go. Just a second here, and then I will continue talking. I missed something. No, I'm good. Had a moment where I was like, I did something wrong, but I didn't. I'm good. Alright, so we're going to there, here, then back down. And then I'm gonna go up here. Not the same hole. And there. And then that under there. I like pinning him down with a needle, with a magnet, so that it doesn't flop around on me. Gotta get a drink of my tea. My mouth is kind of dry. Let me mark there. Those. So now we're going to proceed and grab this one and continue with the rest of this color and finish what's left in this box of this color. All right. I'm gonna go here. Alrighty, let's see here. I could live, I'm gonna like I have a couple of questions I've saved so that I can, you know, ask and like answer. So if I could live anywhere, would I live in the city or would I live in the country? I would try to live in a mixture. I'm too technical. We're too connected to the technology to be country like what I remember country being, because I was raised on a farm. Yeah, we had horses, cows, chickens. And I would definitely, I don't think I would have like a bunch of farm animals. I would have chickens so that I could have fresh eggs. And I would have a garden. So those are the two things I would definitely have if I could. I love the concept of living out in the woods. Out on acres where it's all yours. The idea of taking care of it, like mowing it, making sure it's but all that type of stuff with it. Not too keen on that idea because that's hard to maintain. And I'm pretty lazy. I'm not gonna fool nobody. I know I'm lazy. If I can procrastinate it, I'm going to procrastinate it. Even when I shouldn't procrastinate it, I'm going to procrastinate it. Until it absolutely must be done. And then it takes forever to do. Because it's out of control. Now a garden, I'd love to have a garden. Producing my own food. We'd have like, okra, corn, tomatoes, squash. I grew up with a garden, and I love getting stuff out of my gardens. Now I would make sure I didn't have too large of a garden because I wanted to make sure that I can feed my family, but I don't want to have it where I have food rotting because I have too much. I know. I'm picky when it comes to things. It's like, I want this, but I don't want it to do this. Well, probably one reason why I probably won't never have a farm. But we also have to have our electronics. Because I love my video games. I like having fast speed internet. I'm not sure how I would survive if I didn't have my fast speed internet. Because even though most of my time is spent crafting, when I decide I want to play a video game, the games I play are like World of Warcraft and Diablo 3, that need a good internet speed to work correctly. So I'm just gonna leave that there. It's a little short, but I can still work on that. Hi Simon, I got a kitty here. Got a Simon that come to say hello. Simon spotting. He's like, I'm done. Bye bye. He's like, that's all the screen time I wanted. Alright, next color is going to be this one. Okay. Go. Sorry for being off screen while I thread a needle. Alrighty. Now let's see. Alright, so one of the other questions I've run across is What is the favorite thing about my career? My career is IT tech. I help people with password resets and accessing certain websites and links and stuff like that, or if they can't access a file, I help with that. Not too technical in the systems, but I'm good with that. Um, what I love about my job is basically two things. One, I can help people that need help. Two, I actually get to work from home. I was working from home before everything hit for the pandemic. So, you know, I was I had already started working from home before the whole office went work from home. Um, Now my office is finally opening back up. They're letting people come back in to work in the office if they want to go in. Now some of them are mandatory go in, but they work better in the office because we have a bunch of different types of clients. Of a single client, we have multiple. Certain clients work better when you are able to be in the office. So this is here. Over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Double check myself. 4. One. There we go. Unthread there. All right. Alright, so we are almost done with this square. That will be the end of this video. Sorry, I'm used to streaming on Twitch. So I will mention stream sometimes. I haven't streamed in a while, but I will eventually be getting back into it. It's just right now easier to put a video together, and I just really wanted to be part of the FlossTube team, or FlossTube family. Actually, it's more of a family here. Everybody is super friendly and helpful, as I said in my first video.
What if I go stronger? What if I get higher? What if I start doing things I know I won't regret? I will make my own.
Sorry for bumping the mic again. Might have to place the mic in a new location, but I wanted to make sure that you could hear me. My first video's volume was really low because I forgot to move the microphone. So the microphone was like over here in this like invisible area over here and nowhere near my head. I'm actually surprised it picked up the volume as well as it did. But alright. Make sure I'm in the right spots. But I'm hoping to be able to get more haul soon. I have 2 patterns that I want to start so bad. Now I did start this other pattern, but it was because I had 90% of the colors I needed already. So I only had to buy a few colors to be able to start the pattern. And get the fabric. And I was able to get, you know, it only has a total of 30 something colors, where my other 2 that I want to start each have 90 colors each. Yeah, so those are going to be a little more complex to get done. One is it's a Hade, but it's a smaller Hade. It's only 150 stitches by 150, or 150 by 150. I'm not sure quite what the terminology for stuff is. That is this picture here, the ornament Bewitched by Lisa Parker. I don't have an obsession with cats, not at all. And then I also want to do the freebie one that was just released. Oop, wrong one. This one. This is the one I want to do. For my daughter. I think she's showed a massive interest in it. And if I can get it started by before October of this year, we can have it done by her 18th birthday, hopefully. At least that's what I've calculated up from from it. Okay. Sorry, I kind of lost my track there for a second on my stitching. But yeah. Uh-oh. Okay, that just tells me I've got to stop, because now I'm gonna have to pull thread out for a few. It just my thread died. It said no. So I'm actually going to end it right there. I'll finish this later on today. Thank you everybody for coming in and saying hi. I appreciate everybody who has come in, new and old. And I will see you next time. Bye everybody.